All right, guys, what's up? Task number 1, preparation for Mastery2K19. And I suppose this isn't really so much of a task as it is a survival guide. This is essentially a survival checklist of how you're going to make it through this next 6 weeks, this coursework, and how you're going to be able to do that and see the best results and have it all kind of like integrate, right? So some of the stuff on here, you guys might be like, what the heck? I don't understand that. Or you might be like, hell no, no way. Or yeah, absolutely, that's cool. Or you might be already doing this stuff. Whatever it is and wherever you're at, remember how Logan and I have said, come in here with an empty cup. That's what we're asking for from you. So as you see these tasks and as you move through each one, that's kind of the way that we're asking you to approach it. And trust us, there is a reason behind everything, but we can't explain it all to you. You kind of have to go through the experience for yourself. Trust that everything that we are delivering to you has been tested and has been inspired, right? It has been inspired. It wasn't just stuff that we kind of like made up that for no apparent reason. So I'm just going to take you through each point on this checklist really, really quickly. And then if you just make note of that, print it out if you'd like to, if you can, if that's easy for you. Otherwise, just pull it up and make notes of it. That's totally fine as well. Okay, point number 1, tell the people in your life, your friends, your family, your colleagues, and especially your children, if you have them, that you need their full love and support over the next 6 weeks. This one is super important because your family or the people that you're close to need to help you through this. They need to not be a distraction. They need to support your success, and they need to understand when you aren't available and the same level you usually might be, or your emotional and mental capacity is limited for them, and they need to support you through that. And you need to tell them why, and you need to tell them how important it is, and you need to ask for their love. That's the respectful and kind thing to do with your family. So make a special point of doing that. That's super duper important, right? Otherwise, what can happen is they won't understand. They won't understand what's going on and what you're going through, and they won't have any idea. And so they'll just carry on and behave as normal. And that can cause conflicts, and it causes distraction, and it causes upset, and it takes you out of your focus, and it takes you out of your flow. So definitely make a point of doing that. The next one is choose the clothes that you're going to wear for the next 6 weeks and put everything else away out of sight. I'm going to talk about these 2 points together. Decide what food you are going to eat for the next 6 weeks as well. These 2 things, choosing the clothes and deciding what food you're going to eat for the next 6 weeks, are all about minimizing your decisions. If you take too long to make certain decisions, you pull yourself out of flow, you slow down your momentum, and you just don't see the same results, and you don't have access to the same inspiration that you need to power you through this stuff, right? So choose the clothes that you're going to wear for the next 6 weeks, and deciding what food you're going to eat for the next 6 weeks is about minimizing your decision time. That's what that's about, making sure that you are running on all engines at all times. So there's little things that we can tweak in our life that can help us do that, and what we wear and what we eat are a couple of those things. So it's going to take a little bit of discipline on your part. Totally understand that. I'm not saying eat the exact same thing, but it's kind of like food groups and having them there and having them accessible, having them ready to go. All right, the next one is clear all of your spaces online, your workspace, and your home of anything that is an unnecessary distraction. This is super important, especially in your online space. You need to check your friends list. If there's anybody, content that comes up on your timeline that always triggers you or is just like super distracting or annoying, you need to unfollow that person for the time being so that that doesn't happen. You also need to think about the groups, the news sites, the sports teams, the politics, whatever the hell else shows up on your newsfeed. You need to clear your space of them. They are unnecessary. They're an unnecessary distraction that can pull you out of focus and shift your energy, and we don't want that. The next thing is to have a dedicated journal for purging every single morning. Now, everybody talks about journaling, right? Everybody talks about journaling. Everybody everybody has their own way of doing things. Journal purging is a super important part of journaling. Journal purging is essentially you waking up first thing in the morning, connecting in, first of all, and then taking pen to paper and writing out anything that flows out of your hand. It's about the hand-brain connection, and it is about clearing your mind, your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. Is about clearing it of all of the things that were unnecessarily implanted in you while you were sleeping. Now, you may not understand what that means, you may not accept it, but you've promised to trust me, so take my word for it. When you die, we know that the soul does not need to eat, sleep, drink, none of that shit, right? So the only thing that actually needs to do that is your body. So if your soul doesn't actually need to go to sleep, what is it doing when your body's asleep? Well, it's doing stuff. Can't tell you exactly what it's doing, can't tell you exactly where it is, but it's doing stuff. And when you come back to consciousness in the morning, it's picked up stuff along the way, and some of it is unnecessary, and some of it you won't know where it came from, and so it can pollute your mind, and it can pollute your cells. And so what you need to do is journal, purge, and get it out every single morning, because it can change the trajectory of where you are going. So that's what journal purging is. Now, if you've got a normal, like one before, you know, the little kind of exercise books to do your journal purging in, if it's around that size, you need to write for at least 3 pages non-stop, 3 pages minimum. If you've got like, I've got like this fairly large book, which is slightly bigger than a A4 size paper. I got it, it came up. Everything it came up. But like, this is my journal purging book, right? So you can see it's just like super messy. It's just a stream of consciousness, or a stream of unconsciousness, effectively, that just flows out of my hand. And I don't judge what comes out. I don't look at it. I don't ever read it again. Like, it's cool when it's happening, because I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Sometimes it'll write about places that I've never seen, I've never been to, but it'll describe it, right? It'll describe certain experiences, and I don't know where that's coming from. Sometimes it just talks about like absolute gobbledygook, like what even is that? I don't know, but that's the way it flows out of me. Not my job to judge it, just my job to get it out, purge it, release it, and set it free. And then I do not read that again. So do that every single morning. Next thing is, make sure that every day you are drinking 3 to 5 liters of water every single day. Minimum 3. Maximum, sky's the limit, but 3 liters minimum every single day. No television. No television for the same reason as all of the online workspace stuff that we were talking about earlier. Go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time every single day. This just helps your, I don't think I need to explain this. I think you guys are smart enough to understand why this is important, to go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time every single day. The other thing that you're going to do for the next 6 weeks is eliminate the words sorry, just, and busy from your vocabulary. Sorry, just, and busy are not going to come out of your mouth or out of your fingers as you type. And anytime you hear it coming out, you are going to stop yourself. Sorry, just, and busy are no longer in your vocabulary. The next thing that I'm going to ask you guys to do is, on a single sheet of paper, I want you to write down the 3 biggest excuses that you have used over the last year as your reasons for not achieving your targets. Then I want you to fold that up and place it in an empty shoebox and put that shoebox somewhere safe. You will not unfold that bit of paper, and you will not use these excuses at all over the next 6 weeks. You won't use them. You won't speak them out of your mouth, all right? Then every time you learn something new in this course, I want you to get that same shoebox and put some money into it that you've placed, that same shoebox that you've placed your excuses in. Put some money into it. Anything from $1 to $5 every time you learn something new. Do not spend any of that money, no matter what, right? That is your survival checklist. I can't go into explaining every single thing, but you guys are trusting me. Remember, we talked about that already. So if you're ready to go, as the task sheet says, let's proceed.